We are 39 and 6 today, still no baby. I continue to have contractions. Good morning, you guys, welcome back. It is Monday, November 10, and possibly the start of the biggest week of my whole life. I am one day away from turning 30. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I am also 39 weeks pregnant. And so baby boy could be coming literally any day. So I thought that I would film this week. I am officially on maternity leave. I actually started maternity leave a week ago, so I've been on maternity leave for a week. Full transparency, I did try to start this vlog last week, multiple days ago, and it's honestly been such a full few days that I failed to vlog pretty much any of it. I've been out and about. I've been hanging out with friends. We've been cleaning the house. I've been having birthday fun dinners. I've been going for little dates with Jonathan. I went to the zoo with my niece and nephew. Like, it has been a full-on few days. However, this week, though we definitely have some fun birthday celebrations and things, this week really is going to be a get in the zone, do all the final things I've been wanting to do, trying to rest as much as possible, and just prepare for this baby. So I wanted to film because I wanted to bring you along with it. I think it will be an interesting week. I'm curious how my body's gonna change over the next few days and just sort of what the vibes are gonna be. So this will be my last vlog before I officially become a mom with a baby on this side of the world, and my whole life is gonna change. So come along with me as we prepare for that. Not that you really can, I don't think. I guess I'll start with a little bump update. So I am 39 weeks and 1 day today. I am due on the 16th of November. Baby is definitely cozy. I haven't been having any like Braxton Hicks or too much like pre-labor cramping or contractions or anything like that. But I am feeling like baby is getting much lower. So I'm like, have a little bit more pelvic pain. I'm waddling a little bit as I'm moving around. That's a good sign. At the beginning of last week, I was like, he's not ready. I could just tell. It wasn't feeling low, like all those things. So now at least this week, I'm like, okay, things are happening. My body is doing some things. So I definitely am finding it's harder to walk around. I'm just more tired, like I've been sleeping more, which is great. I'm so grateful that I have the time right now to rest because I know I will not be resting much in the future. From a house perspective, if you haven't seen my last vlog, you should go back and watch that. And so I really do feel pretty good about where we're at. If baby came today, we'd be totally ready type setup, which I'm so grateful for. However, there are still some things that I do want to do this week that were like lower on the list. They're not critical, but now I have the time for it. I am painting a large painting in my kitchen. So unnecessary, but also something I will not do once I have a newborn. So it's sort of now or never. We're gonna do that today. I'm no artist, so we'll debrief that in a second. I want to make some breakfast sandwiches, like egg sandwiches, and freeze them. I want to clean my kitchen and make sure that like the surfaces are really clean. My hospital bag's already packed, so that's sorted. I want to make padsicles. If you know what those are, they're like essentially postpartum pads that you put a bunch of good stuff on it and put in your freezer so that you can use them when you're out of the hospital. So stuff like that. It's just like tchotchke stuff. And then tomorrow night, I'm throwing a birthday party for myself. My friends are obviously helping me, but we're just gonna have a fun dinner and it's gonna be themed on the eras of my 20s. And so we'll talk you through that then too. So it's gonna be a good week, but let's get to the painting. All right, so this piece of art is not my vibe. I don't know that it's a lot of people's vibe. If it's your vibe, forgive me in advance for what I'm about to do to this. But I bought my company has an art collection and they curate and then rotate art kind of over the years. And every once in a while, once art kind of ages out, they will sell to the employees. This lovely piece went past multiple iterations of a sale, and essentially they were selling it fire sale for $25. So the frame itself, which you kind of can't see because I've already taped over, but it's a really beautiful matted frame with kind of a gold wood exterior. The frame is beautiful. The frame alone is worth more than $25. But the picture itself, again, not really my vibe. My fairly non-artistic self thought I could probably do something better than this. Now again, I could not recreate this. The technique is wonderful. Someone much more artistic than I managed all these colors and put this composition together. So I'm not bashing the artist, though I cannot find any information on this. I have tried to find the artist or any information on this. All I know is on the back, there's a little tag that the company I work for bought it for $1,000 at one point, but it's unnamed, unsigned, undated, no information. I'll put an inspiration of what I'm going to try to recreate on the screen. This is my vision. I think it's doable. It's not gonna be perfect, but I think because the shapes are larger and the coloring isn't too complex, I think I can do it. What I need to do first, blank slate it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, I should also mention, I'm trying to use almost entirely paints that I already have in my house because I have quite a bit of paints in these colorways. And so I think mixing colors and everything, I have actually quite a bit of the paint I need. The only colors I don't know if I have or can mix is like the olivey of the leaves and the branch, and then maybe a little bit of like the rouginess of kind of the base of the flower. This is not the purpose of the vlog, so we're not gonna spend a ton of time on it. And if it's terrible, I guess I could just sell it for the frame and we'd get rid of it entirely. But I wanna give 2 good days shot at trying to recreate this in a way that can be beautiful artwork for that kitchen. You can't tell, but it's in the kitchen. I'm gonna start by painting with a gallon of the color we used on my bedroom makeover, linked. I'm nervous all of a sudden. Not that this is okay. Okay, we did it. We did it. All right. First coat, blank slate. Done. I'm feeling very good about this so far. I did a full coat of the cream that you saw. I did a second coat of the cream, and then I mixed more of like a brown with a little bit of green actually into a container and didn't fully mix it. And while the second coat was still wet, I have been going over with like a hatch a little bit, almost line wash-esque, to get some texture and a little bit more depth to the color, and I'm so pleased with how it's turned out. It's a few hours later, we are completely dry, and I don't think you can see it in the camera, but I have pencil sketched my vision. My plan is, because of the variation, just a friendly reminder, my inspiration. As you can see in the leaves and the stem, there's a lot of variation in color. Like it's not a flat green. And so I have my base, and I think I might just like pencil it out a little bit, but then I'm gonna use this plate and like put a couple of different like browns and reds and just other colors in this so that I can use my paintbrush and kind of mix it in as I go. For leaves for now. I feel okay about how it's turned out, and I don't want to over process. Plus it's starting to get to the point where it's so wet, like I'm having a hard time layering. So I'm going to be done with that for now. Now I'm moving into the petals, which is, I think, both going to feel easier and harder at the same time. I don't really know how to explain that. I'm done for now. I'm trying not to overprocess, but I'm gonna let it dry and then we'll just kind of see how it lands. I'm pleased with it. I am no professional, we've already established that, but I think it's pretty. Good morning. It is my 30th birthday today. It feels both very nostalgic and good at the same time, if that makes sense. I think the older I get, the more I realize how aging is a gift. And so the fact that I now get to have gone through my whole 20s and how wonderful that was, and the excitement of what 30 is gonna hold with all these life changes about to happen, it feels right. Like, would I love to be 25? Yes, probably. But does it feel right in the life stage I'm at with what I've been able to do, the home I have, the husband I have, this baby we're about to have, the job I have? It feels right. Like I feel 30, if that makes sense. So far it's been a lovely birthday. It's still the morning, I'm still in my PJs. Jonathan went and got a haircut. He looks so handsome. And surprised me with coffee and a scone from one of my favorite coffee shops. I'm just relaxing, sitting, sipping my coffee. And then later today we have a few things, but it should be somewhat of a relaxed day, which will be nice. I am going to be getting a push present. If you're not familiar with that term, occasionally when people have babies, it's a kind of, I wouldn't even call it a tradition. It's just like a thing people do that moms will get some sort of more extravagant gift as kind of a recognition of the work that it takes to grow and then birth a baby. And I actually think less about like I've earned this and more about it's sort of a milestone thing. And so Jonathan and I are gonna go ring shopping today to see if we can, just window shopping right now. I don't actually want to buy anything. I have an idea of what I want for the ring, but also don't, if that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what I want this ring to be is one, a beautiful piece that I will wear for my whole life probably, but also I would like it to be something that I could stack eventually if we decide to do rings with future kids. And I want it to be sort of like an heirloom piece of something that either would go to that child or be, yeah, passed down in some way, because it is a special thing connected with my child. And so I like the idea that I could potentially have multiple on a single finger. The other option is I could stack it into my wedding finger. So I have a wedding band, obviously. I could do something on top or move them around or whatever. So I'm leaving that open. I'm also open to a colored stone versus a diamond. I wear colored stones on this hand. So I have this ring, which is an emerald onion cut that Jonathan gave me while we were dating. And then this ring, which is blue sapphires. That's what we're gonna do. So I'll take you shopping. I think that could be kind of fun, just window shopping. And then Jonathan and I are gonna get lunch, and then we'll come back and we have a couple of hours of break before the girls come over for the party tonight. That is what the day's gonna look like. So let's get started. Yeah, kind of like cups it up the side. I think that's really pretty. The UPS man just brought me something very exciting. This is a birthday gift from my sweet, sweet mother. And as you can see, it is a very exciting one. This is the Signature Oval Casserole, 3.75 quart in Thyme. Ready for a color reveal? Oh. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. Oh man. That is just such a pretty green color. Thank you, Mommy. I love it so much. Oh, I am wanting to collect Le Creuset because it's gonna last my whole life and then probably get passed down to my children. So My mom still has my grandma's set, and they have the classic flame, like the classic French orange, like the color of the box.
Happy 30th birthday!
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Here's your bouquet!
This is gorgeous! Honey! Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Wow. Look at this. Wow. Oh my gosh, you spoiled me. As a part of my life changing pretty significantly in this next couple of weeks with turning 30 and obviously having our little baby, I am starting a new prayer journal. So this is the prayer journal I've had for years and years and years and years. This is the prayer journal that I met Jonathan through. This is the prayer journal that I got married during. I moved, I moved into this house, bought this house with this prayer journal. Lots of life and lots of prayers are in this one. And I was reaching the end. I only had really a couple pages left, so it just felt appropriate to start a new one, start fresh. And so this is my new one, and very similar. I'm a big spiral notebook for prayer journal advocate because I like to be able to do this. But at the back of all of my prayer journals, I kind of like prep it in the same way. I've done this for many a journal. So I have lifelong prayers that I pray. And then at this prayer journal, when I first started it, it was prayers for my future husband because I hadn't met him yet. And so now I am keeping this page, but I've converted it to prayers for Jonathan as my husband. Most of the prayers are the same. Being wise, encouraging, a leader, generous, that we make each other laugh, like all those things are in there. And then I have an actual place where I put my like more specific prayers in the back. So like obviously in prayer, I am like asking for things just kind of through the conversation of my prayer journaling, but when there's specific prayers that I'm asking for, sometimes I will put them in the back, essentially prayers on the left side, and then I leave the right page open for the answers to those prayers as the Lord faithfully over the years does answer them. And it's really special to go through and see, sometimes even years later, the deliverance of a prayer that I prayed. I go through anything that has been answered, I just leave in the prayer journal as it was, but any of my lifelong prayers or just longer prayers that have not been answered yet, I will transition to the new prayer journal so I can continue tracking God's deliverance. And in whatever way that is, it's not always yes, or it's not always exactly as I've prayed it, but consistently there is answer to prayer in some way that I can track. And it's just sort of a documentation of God's faithfulness and a reminder to me that He does answer prayers when I doubt.
Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you. And many, many more. Oh, who's here? Yay! Oh.
Morning. It is a beautiful sunny Thursday. I did not vlog at all yesterday except for a few clips that I can insert here for a Friendsgiving that we did. My Bible study and I every year for I don't even know how long have done Friendsgiving together, and it's just a wonderful night. And actually, depending on when baby comes, could be the only real Thanksgiving that I have this year. So it was really fun. Food was delicious. I ate way too much for the size capacity of my stomach right now, but everything was just so good. How could I not? Today's gonna be another fairly relaxed day. I am going to see Maria, my friend that you will have seen in many a vlog, in a few hours to hang out at her house, go for a walk, kind of co-work a little bit. I'm obviously not working, but I have things I want to do. So just quality time spent together in the same house. But before that, I am going to go for a walk myself. I'm trying to go for one substantial walk at least a day because it's getting things moving. I will say, last night, as I'm chronicling this kind of pre-labor week, last night I woke up in the middle of the night, which I've been doing almost every night for the last week, which is not my favorite thing. I wake up between 2 and 3, up for at least an hour and a half, like cannot go back to bed. And then eventually I fall asleep again in like the 4s somewhere. And today was even worse because Jonathan actually had his alarm set to wake up at 4:45. And I just, yeah, was not a great night of sleep. But anyway, part of the reason I was having a hard time falling back asleep is because I was feeling some kind of like period crampiness, which I know is a symptom of, like a pre-symptom of labor. Anyway, so I was feeling like, yeah, sort of pre-period crampiness in a way that I haven't felt in a very long time because I haven't had my period in a very long time. And so I was like, oh my gosh, are things starting? Like, what's happening? And then I started to be like, oh, this is starting to feel real. Now I feel really nervous about labor and oh, just all the emotions. And I didn't want to wake Jonathan up because I knew nothing was actually happening, but it was like more real than it had felt before, if that makes sense. I did a bunch of stuff yesterday. I tried like the mile circuits, positioning, tried Primrose oil. We're starting the things. This morning's thing is a walk, but specifically a walk to a coffee shop that's like somewhat close to my house. I actually can't walk the full, I don't know if I could walk the full distance. Jonathan and I have done it. I just don't know how I feel, and because Jonathan's not here to like come pick me up if I feel really tired by the time I get there, and because last time when Jonathan and I did it, we actually stayed and like sat and just had a little date in the coffee shop for a good like 40 minutes probably before walking back. I might bring something to do maybe, but I don't plan to stay and like essentially rest in the coffee shop before coming back. I just want to like grab my coffee and hang out for maybe a little bit, have a snack, and then I'll come back. So I think what I'm gonna do is like drive part of the way, park, walk that distance to the coffee shop, get my coffee, walk back to my car, and then drive the few minutes back. It's sort of laughable, the actual distance I'd be driving, but I just don't wanna overdo it. Officially walking back now from the coffee shop, Sparrow. I got a brown sugar latte and it's delicious. And so was my scone that I treated myself to. That was wonderful. I am feeling good. I would say that like I randomly have moments of my pelvic pain being pretty intense. And then right now, for example, it doesn't feel super intense. So I think baby's maybe still just kind of moving around a little bit down there. I'm definitely out of breath, but I'm glad I'm doing it. And I do feel like this is a fairly good distance. Like I feel comfortable. I probably could have gone a little bit longer, but I'm not quite to the car yet. So we'll see how I feel once I actually get there. But it's better than pushing too hard and not feeling so good after. So that's good. Hello there, it's Friday. We are 39 and 6 today. Still no baby, but that's okay. We're still early. That would be, you know, a pleasant surprise if I went early, but was not expected. I had no plans today as of this morning, but have made some plans. I've already gone on a walk with my nephew, very quick, just square around the block, and I'm preparing to go for a much longer walk with my friend Brooke. But in the meantime, one of the things I've been intending to do and just haven't done yet is make padsicles. Are you familiar with this concept? It was new to me since becoming pregnant, and I don't even know how many of my friends have done it. I wonder if it's kind of like a trendy TikTok thing right now, but still seems to make a lot of sense. So this is what I'm doing. And I figured I would include you in this. This is like sort of a strange, maybe even slightly niche thing to be vlogging, but we're talking all things pregnancy and eventually postpartum on this channel. So we're here for the memes, right? So here's the setup. I have essentially the largest pads I could find, which is crazy, but apparently helpful. I have opened them all up, and then I have witch hazel to spray on it, aloe, clear natural aloe to be specific, and then Dermaplast spray. So I am starting with the witch hazel, squirting them all down, and then I'm gonna spread some aloe on the pads and then top it with a little bit of the Dermaplast spray, fold them back up and put them in the freezer so that when I need them later, I'll pull them out of the freezer. And apparently the fact that they're like very cool, obviously, is pleasant. So that's what we're doing. I have no idea how many to make because like, how many am I actually gonna need? How many am I gonna go through? But they don't take very long. So I think I'm gonna start with, what is this, 6? I'm gonna start with 6. And if they're helpful, we can whip a couple more up and do it then. All right, we have 6 pads going in the freezer. I'm sure that this is gonna be helpful. It feels weird, I'm not gonna lie. My baby stash, breakfast sandwiches and freezer pads. I guess I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. It's due date day. It is officially November 16, a day we've been looking towards for many, many months now. It feels weird to be here. It sort of feels like time has gone very quickly, and yet I do also feel like I've been pregnant for a really long time, so not really sure how to kind of balance that out. Last night was the first night where I feel like I can actually pinpoint feeling some contractions. Not that they felt the way I expected them to. And I know Braxton Hicks contractions are different than like labor contractions, obviously, but it felt very much like period cramps that would come and go. I didn't feel so much like the like wrap belly tightening that you kind of hear about, but I did some Googling and some like Reddit reading. So take my sources as you wish, but if any of you have been pregnant and had a baby before, you may be able to tell me. Although at this point, by the time you see this, it'll be too late. I will definitely have had the baby by then. I believe what I was feeling kind of in the middle of the night last night at like 1 a.m. I woke up and felt a series of them to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, is this gonna continue? But then even when I woke up this morning, more like 6:30ish, I felt a few again. And I do, so obviously it's been a few hours, so they're definitely Braxton Hicks, but even in the moment, it was kind of interesting because I would feel them if I was laying on my left side, but then if I rolled to my right side, they would stop. And so again, kind of classic symptoms of Braxton Hicks, but I haven't had any Braxton Hicks yet. So that was kind of fun. I'm also kind of glad that I haven't because they're not super comfortable. Anyway, that's how I woke up this morning, which was fun because it's feeling even more optimistic and like exciting that baby could be coming really any day. Now that it's been a few hours, I have not really had them. I had one maybe like 20 minutes ago, but I really haven't had many. And so I'm not feeling like baby will come during the day today, but we'll see what happens overnight again. I am gonna go treat myself to some Cold Stone because that is sort of a tradition in my life. I probably have not shared this, but I worked for Cold Stone for years in high school, early college, like when I was back on breaks and stuff. And Cold Stone has been sort of a tradition for me in like major events of my life and just has always been kind of a fun treat. And so I thought I would commemorate due date day with going and getting a big old Cold Stone. And then after that, my parents are gonna come over and we're gonna watch the Green Bay Packers game, just kind of have like a really cozy Sunday. And that sounds like a really nice day, potentially last day, before things heat up. I feel good. I feel optimistic, at least today, that baby will come in the next few days before our induction day. I went in for a single ice cream. I did have a birthday reward, $5 off, but I left with an hours container, and she made a lot. As soon as she scooped the ice cream, I was like, I know that that's gonna be too much. And this wasn't even all of it. She like set some of it aside. I think she's either gonna put it back or make one for herself, which kudos to her. I totally understand that. I do think that I have the best combo. Okay, so what I got, I'm out of breath. Oh my gosh, hold on, give me a second. It's a mix of their cookie dough ice cream and their coffee ice cream with 3 chunks of cookie dough. She gave me an extra, and I bought an extra. Graham cracker, which is a super underrated mix-in from like a texture perspective. Very good. Reese's cups and scoops of peanut butter. Did I add anything more in? Sometimes I put some form of chocolate. So like chocolate syrup or the chocolate shavings. I'm not a chocolate chip girl because I don't like that they get too cold and they crunch, and I don't like that texture. But I could always put chocolate syrup on this when I get home. I'm telling you, heals all wounds. I'm gonna finish this and then we'll head home. The football game's over and my parents have left. The Packers won. It's very exciting. And I continue to have contractions and different feelings. I'm feeling very PMS-y in a lot of ways. I won't go into too many details on that, but one of them being that I do continue to have kind of sporadic contractions, mostly when I'm at rest. So like when I'm up walking around or like cooking or whatever, I'm not really feeling them, but when I'm sitting down or laying down and resting, I am still feeling them. So I think that that is a good sign. Because of that, I am actually gonna take a nap. It is about 4:30-ish right now, and if I continue to have contractions and if they do end up getting more frequent tonight and actually starting to become more regular, obviously I'll be closer and closer to labor, I want to be rested. So while I still feel like I could sleep for a little bit undisturbed, I'm going to try to do that. It is completely possible that I will just stay like this for another couple days. And my doulas are reminding me of that, which I think is probably healthy expectation setting. But at the same time, and again, maybe I'll eat my words, but it feels different. My body feels very different in the last 24 hours than it did even like a day or two before, and continues to feel progressively different, if that makes sense. Or like, maybe not progressively different, but more, the difference lasts longer than it was earlier. So yes, I think it's healthy to think that this could just be false labor, but I sort of don't think it is. Like I do, if I'm honest, think that my body is gearing up and that I will be actively in labor in the next 24 hours, which is crazy. Well, I didn't exactly get to end this vlog in the way that I expected. So obviously we are at the hospital. It is Monday, 1:30 maybe p.m. and I am being induced. And so we are officially ending the week before my whole life changes, because my whole life is about to change. Due to James, we can't wait to meet you. See you next time.